Oh, hello. I hope music is not too loud. Maybe like this. Continuing making some of potential campaign bullet points for possible Anima Beyond the Fantasy campaign stream. This will be probably the only one that I was actually making for 3-hour sessions or something like that. So there will be some brainstorming for that. I actually gonna need to do this truly with our guys that played the campaign, because we have hell of a lot stuff that already happened in the past, well, by this point, 5-year campaign in the world. Just some bullet points to see in what state the world is. And there will be definitely streams for some reminder of what actually happened. Maybe I'm gonna do some illustrations and things like that for those bullet points. So last time we talked about Eastern lands in Anima Beyond the Fantasy, possible cool. So, Picket and Hawk probably wanted to go on Magmata journey. Yeah, I will not talk that much, so music will be probably a little bit louder, but I can lower it a bit more. I will go up and down with that. Let's see. And let me mention this. This is why are you making all of this? Okay, no matter. Very well. But what are you gonna watch next? I need to watch that freaking banner, how it's called. No. Let me see. That thing is bugging me to watch. Bam, yeah. And I actually finished the seasonal stuff last night before the sleep. Uncle Hawk might join us for coffee talk later for some ridiculous random stuff that we don't plan. So yeah, the main difference: Gaia, human world, Kalis, Sylvan or elf world. So okay, finishing Harlock. Good. Yeah, you haven't watched the movie. A ticket in the chat, by the way. Yeah. So. Now let's see. I'm literally going through stuff that we already passed. I need to check what's going on with the hyperlink. This is pretty much the test stream as much as brainstorming. Because we had a problem last night because of that. For some reason hyperlink is blocked. Yeah, I see that and I actually allowed in stream elements. I'm not sure why is this happening. They are even allowed in well, it's not. Okay. We're gonna have a topic. We already mentioned what we wanna. How Hawk said, use anime beam on, but it was supposed to be some media that is not anime all around. So yeah, you can definitely mention that. But the next time probably gonna be first episodes or something like that. Yeah, I actually want to say, yeah, Ticket said he had a dream of anime adaptation of his visual novel. In what art style it was? Maybe Korra? Korra has amazing art style, Voltron too. It's really fluid. So. Then turn more on Gaia stuff for a second of possibilities of another. There was a mention of trench coats, as was said. They're interesting bunch, but problematic. No heroes between them. Society that removes any supernatural means of making money and destroying the economy of the world. The consortium, yeah, I might expand on that, because I need some lighter campaign. Well, not lighter, but I will just turn off these timers because Frame Element doesn't work. Oh well. Unfortunately. Let's see. What? What's there now? Huh. Oh, block hyperlinks. For some reason it was activated. And I deactivated it. What the hell? Okay. I can now genuinely return every timer. Okay. Turn for this. Sure. I mean, that's the thing. Whenever we play any RPG session and things like that, I always think about how people actually see this. Everyone see in some different art style and things like that. Imagining in different art style. So, Dandaliano Shoka, or maybe Violet Evergarden. Art style. 4 tickets, visual novel. Consortium are nasty pips. They are even more secretive actually than powers in Shadow, a arcane, well, techno-magical nanobot society of humanity, elves, and dark elves, Dubzerist, practically. And they say these guys are even more secretive. Then you know you never saw them. So they're present for more than 6 centuries. So they practically showed up after break of the world. Oh, so literally before the big war 700 years ago, when the world broke into 3 parts, there was trade goods and coins were magically sealed, thus preventing any wizard or psychic from producing large market imbalance. They're controlled to such alteration to trying to maintain economic stability. Nice. Okay. Yeah, and the world broke, and the spell that was literally maintaining economics. Wow, that's probably elves, because it's said so many times they did the economics of the world, which makes sense. They made the first coin in this world. So yeah, Consortium actually is older. They just started to act 600 years ago, after the breakage of that spell that maintained the thing. They're responsible for correcting this evil, restoring the natural order of the economy at whatever cost. Well, yeah, then if it's 90% around this one specific place, art style should be similar to all, more or less. What was the organization mystery? Origins of the organization are a mystery even to its members. So, really shadowy people? Nobody noticed who created it, or... Okay. They are offshoot of something bigger, but I will not spoil that if we ever play. But yeah, they are sneaky, like sneaky in a way that because when the world broke, the powers in Shadow, those that actually possessed techno-magic stuff, they were under certain pact that they cannot involve themselves in matters of common world, and Consortium is practically something shadowy enough to even go around that pact. They came with the taxes. Yeah, they pretty much came with the taxes. Okay. What else shall we do? So, Consortium, very important for me, that they are literally hiding from the pact. So, yep. What the road? Okay. That. Incredible spirit. Yeah. And they have no relation with countries or societies, serving all of them in secret. Yeah, they don't show. They simply don't show to anyone. They do things alone, and maybe they influence something, but you will never see them. You will never know that they did that, ever. So literally, if you want extreme sneaky campaign, this is it. I mean, you will have gadgets quasi James Bond practically in the medieval. Well, almost medieval like setting, but it's still high magic. And what happened in our, by this point, as I said, almost 5-year-old campaign, magic is pretty common now in the human world. Well, it's starting to become. There are too many powerful entities all around. Yeah, they don't care. For example, if Wizard just simply create a mansion or something like that for himself, and if he exclude himself from the world and keep himself outside of the influencing too much surroundings, they don't care about him. But he's starting to introduce himself into society with all possibilities what he can actually produce. And by this point, this is one of the big stories, because that first 3-year-old campaign introduced something called the magic law, because for the last 700 years, world actually didn't know about the existence of the magic, only higher ups, some secret societies and things like that. And after the last war that happened, and well, things were starting to move. New races were introduced in human society slowly, but commoners and general society is still very much weirded out about all of the things that they, by this point, still burned at stakes, thinking they are witches or demons. So yeah, and they, for example, they completely ignore Black Sun. Black Sun for them is you just selling something that is already in the world. We don't care about that. You can do whatever you want with that. They don't they're no heroes. They will not do in that regard to save the world or introduce something to just move out of the way. And Black Sun is a dark organization that usually deal with old magic artifacts, and before that they dealt with necrotechnology of necrotic golems, practically mindless soldiers for those that can pay. And they have their shops all around the world. But this is perfect for the session because they work in cells, like 4 to 5 people and things like that. For certain regions, and depends, they have a regional coordinator that sends them to hunt some wizard or something like that, depending what has been done. And yeah, if there's literally any notice of what happened from your mission, you failed. So it's like Assassin's Creed before they removed that desynchronization thing in instant. You simply can't be noticed. It needs to be extremely well organized. You do have equipment, but there's still possibilities. And you deal with wizards and psychics that, so, they're making fortune. They're gonna have... It actually reminds me on Dishonored 2. When you go through... all that craziness of that golem makers and that make constructs and things like that. They don't just kill or remove the person. They will, for example, they will destroy equal value of what a person created by that point. So there are ways to be non-lethal. Quality. And yeah, they very much operate under the night. They have installed technological systems in Brain that if they are captured, system will, with the psychic influence, completely erase their memories, the knowledge, and there is no magic and thing in the means that will return that. So yeah, pretty rough, but that's how they keep themselves safe. But those are, for example, trench coats, and you have fixers. And they are nastier bunch. They're usually sent with how they said, with that original coordinator. They are all extremely seasoned veterans of the job that deal with the stuff when trench coat fail. So yeah, consortium is definitely something that I would like to jam, make a story of. New Conclave is interesting in a way that they are remnants. Well, they're practically produced from the remnants of the forces, or their children from those that broke the world. And now they're breaking the technology of those in shadows. One of the rare organizations that are aware of those powers in the world. Unfortunately, a lot of them is actually dead. Well, some of them are dead. After meeting the Blood Angel that they brought from the Empire. Their job is not completely finished, so we will see where that goes. But yeah, that's one of the possibilities. I'm not sure should I introduce that, because it will be maybe a bit confusing for the stream and there is too much lore between, but I will put New Conclave by okay. see. What's the next one? Manga's Order, or the sorcerers that are now uncovered practically in the world, are pretty much in the light. Well, to some degree, their university is open to those that show the gift of the magic, but their acting in the world is still hidden from general society because, yeah, we're still not completely used to magic. So there is that. There is big plot point that actually works now that acceptance of magic actually exists. New races actually exist. The world is dealing with that currently, and there is big pressure on the Order of Magus because there is kinda the other side of the coin, Order of Yehuda, that wants for sorcerers and wizards to actually rule. They had their empire, I think, about 3,000 to 4,000 years ago, but the empire of sorcerer kings that were actually killed because they freaking had slaves and it just meant to be. They needed to fall, and they fell gloriously. So the remnants of that society is still integrated in the world all around, and they are nasty sorcerers. They had thousands of years of producing stuff and rituals and magic that the world haven't seen before. So, Magus Order is definitely one of the maybe more interesting position. In the world currently. So, yeah. And vice versa. I mean, depends. Maybe we're gonna play a little bit more evil campaign, and that would definitely be Order of Yehuda. And Magus Order is now currently, well, it's established in the biggest empire, current biggest empire in the world, in human world. But it's all around by its workings. And it works with Templars too, to some degree. They are kinda in the interesting situation because they try to protect some nasty places. It would be like if you have mages that learn, control, and things like that, supernatural in the world. The Templars here are practically protectors of such places. They would be almost the military part of now, but not of Magus Order. They're practically free paramilitary organization created by First Emperor. They're travelers, but I'm not sure I would introduce them. That's very much really basic type of the campaign. Really basic. It was organization, more like not even like pirates, something maybe a Robin Hood like crew made from Zebulos, former Lord of War, literally one of the great generals of Empire. They're truly the heroes for hire and, well, heroes on the road, pretty much. But that's a little bit too boring for me, honestly. This world has so much to offer to get into that basic D&D-ish hero archetype, casual archetype. We started one campaign in Estigia, south of Gaia. Practically, I can actually introduce some of this. Give me a second. If I haven't removed those. So, yeah, south, the desert, the sea, is Estigia. Give me a second, I will... No. I might even go full scale fit, just for you to see the map. So yeah, that big sea is mostly covered by the new empire. South is between those desert lord lands and Azure Alliance. East, that eastern island that we mentioned before on the last one. Northern Kingdom is kind of spreading a bit. And I will not even start on Eurakia yet, because that's whole another issue. South is now in the mess from war with the Black King that keeps mostly western part of the new continent, and the eastern part is by this point almost all of the Empire of Abel, Holy Empire of Abel, the biggest empire in our campaign by this point. I can maybe put this here just for the reference. Okay. Let's see what we have next. there are too many of assassin organizations, so literally if they want to play anything of that, there's too many of them. So I can generally add rogue campaign. Oh, well. You have the Hand of the Emperor. Literally the intelligent agents of Empire. You have Brotherhood. Seth. Group that practically works for Pharaoh of Stygia. And really the masters of the key techniques. They're really interesting organization by all means. They paint them as as evil, but they are nothing less evil than Hand of the Emperor. There is one of them that are frighteningly effective. Baraka clan. Known as supernatural assassins. I think they would be closest to how it's called in was no Oblivion or Skyrim that you meet them. I think you meet them in the last games too, but I actually haven't played. Not Gales, the other one, that the Blood organization. I'm forgetting, that worked with Vampire. There are many more, but I will not drop them in here just because we already kind of made contact with many of them in a way through our campaign, and they are now in. Some of them are in disarray, some of them are, well, working a little bit differently. Belisarius is nice always. I mean, it's a remarkable society of intellectuals, scholars, oh my god, I can't speak. Yeah, and alchemists who wish to reveal the secrets of the past. There's a part that there might even get into Black Sun economy. I mean, Black Sun is kind of connected to all of these that I mentioned before. part of the Delacroix family is still alive that dealt with necromantic parts, and another big family of theirs are usually trading in artifacts of old. Providence Company is included in economics too, because they're one of the rares that deal actually with firearms in the world. So yeah. Just a second. I can play some more music while I do this. Okay. I'm passing through the book. We actually covered a hell of a lot stuff that happened in our campaign. So literally checking stuff that we haven't touched or that can happen in the future. So yeah, there is another thing that happened in the Gaia currently. One tragedy that happened 1,000 years ago in, I think, one city. I'm not sure completely. I'm forgetting now. Yeah. That practically made a living node. If you ever heard anything in Anima, maybe, and in D&D, when wizards make their Sanctum Santorums, their towers of power, made them on the ley lines of the power of. They even call them here, I think, dragon lines, because dragons are kind of connected as souls of the world. On certain parts they cross and they make nodes. Nodes are literally the crossings of multiple ley lines, and they can do some nasty miracles. I think only Sylvans are actually known that they can control the nodes, and every metropolis of elves possessed one of the nodes. Nodes can be utilized as not just power source, they can practically almost do a divine level of magic, and that is part of this, how they protected their cities. But that's all gone, well, at least in the human part of the world. We'll talk on actually mine. I used most of the knowledge of the Gaia and kinda built up on few sentences of the creator of the Kalis for the elf world that we're currently playing in. So yeah, one of those nodes actually became alive. Pistis Sophia, as they called her, bonded with it. One soul bonded with it and made it practically alive. So it's almost a quasi-divine creature that exists through ley lines of the world, and that's scary by its own means. And that explosion when she's integrated in that made something like mana trees. Here's down. Literally the resource of the soul, or the energy of the soul that wizards use to utilize magic, and even summoners use to produce rituals. Jared or El Hazared, if you want, that old prophet, that the thing that's connected a bit with Tulu mythos. That's a topic I would even make whole stream on, and something that's kind of spread through all our campaign stories. Here she was known as common knowledge. Jared was known as, well, Archbishop of Empire, with prophecy that she made before she disappeared literally against the gods, and that you need to be free not to follow the, well, puppet masters of the world. The big Kabbalah tree showed through whole Central Ocean. Central Sea, I'm not sure now. And some things were broken in power of shadows. They had control over the world to some degree. They could influence actions, and by that point she practically made free will once more on the world, at least human world as it is known. Yeah. Okay. Now have we covered what would I actually go for in this craziness of what remnants of Gaia stuff left. There is actually one last session campaign that left for us, like a special to see certain part will be destroyed. Certain artifacts that they found, but it's almost conflicts with all other campaigns that are happening, so it's probably gonna be one big last episode with all characters, if it's happened, and I'm not forcing for that to actually happen. It might be, but it's just something that that everyone is dragged to some way or another. If they seek for more knowledge, if they want to simply, well, do what they wished in the world and leave their characters for some future day imagined, they can do that too. There is not always meant to be some world-saving part. It's a little bit different with the Calus because that world is really plunged more in the geography and, I don't know, global problems than wars and things like that. There is political struggle, but it's usually internal in all of them. So yeah, that's pretty much what would I probably cover in Gaia on stream. I mean, going full on political scales and things like that, that would be, I am at least used to 6 hour, at least 6 hour sessions in campaign to actually do the proper story of when we get into politics, into casual heroes, or some of our main protagonists that are made through our campaign that are heavily involved with the Second Holy Empire of Abel and things like that. We will not be changing heavily world, but we might do some uncovering of the secrets. Magus Order would be interesting playing, because that would be almost feel like Harry Potter wholesomeness with some heavy struggle with common folk, and you have your Order of Yehuda that is, well, we showing the magic that can be good. Oh, we showing the magic that will enslave others and we need to rule. You know, that kind of thing. So, yeah, and actually the first time they're partially in the conflict of that magic law. One of the dark races works with the Empire to actually make it, but the others are brought in. It's really early state. It was meant to actually convolute the trade of magical items. They start even registering stuff like that in Empire, but that is just Empire, and you can always have some struggle inside about that too. Not everyone wants to be just under the law. Magic is very much as chaotic as can be, as knowledge about it, as knowledge of the world. So we might have some more well, Harry Potter is major actually now, but maybe something close to Ancient Magus Bride. If you read Manga, they're currently in the in an environment of magic university practically. So yeah, maybe something closer to that, or what you see as I think it's City of Witches in Somali anime. So yeah, something like that is an option too. Illusionists, witches, warlocks, wizards, wizard mentalists, things like that. It would be very interesting high magical stuff for researchers of all of that, but maybe not all knowledge will be just allowed in a way. There are some rules in that society too, and how it can be used. And we just mentioned all of the others that like to control or like to spread the chaos from that same thing. So, I will probably go on a break, so we will see if Hawk drop is in. If not, I will probably continue on some Kalis world building parts, or maybe just to write some of the things that I need to mention in our world building podcast, Zavarudo building. And even make some NPCs, because our party is kinda in the shits right now, and we'll see how that go. We're all pretty much busy now and can't really play that often, so practically on almost a month pause of any kind of the game, so this really helps for me as GM to drop some some stuff out of my brain on the paper and so I will go in BRB screen and return with the Kalis World War. Lots of strength, definitely lots of strength. Is music loud now? Can you hear me well? I feel they changed what they're playing currently, because it's live playlists. Yeah, it's overlapping. It's live playlist, and some of the songs are a bit louder than the others. Okay. Yeah. I practically did that just now, and I might actually higher my volume a bit more. Okay. So I'm going to go on BRB screen, and when I get back, we will get to the Kalis, the world of elves, the world of blood, ocean, and flying islands. And we're back. Just maybe I will go with some more chill music. Oh well. So yeah, I will see with the boys if they want anything of this maybe. I'm maybe a little over saturated from casual Japanese folklore like campaign. Well, maybe not folklore like campaign. Planet is a bit way too animation in a way shonen-esque, like heavy animation storylines, and I would like a little bit more intimate campaign for stream where they can actually build characters more, go into more interactions, because everything landed that's happening right now, it will be fight, and fights in Anima are awesome, but they can get a little bit dragged out especially for stream, and that's not fun to watch. We can easily go 3 hours for some battle scenes and things like that, so I don't need any books for this, but I do need my shite for what I actually use, and I have too many files of this. So I practically made a little file Wikipedia for my stuff. Library of Kali's Chronicles. Yes, finally found it out, and my NPC list that I hope none of them will see. There's so many NPCs. I think I need already over 120 NPCs just for this year and a half campaign. Full made, I mean they met more, but actually full statistics. I'll probably drop in some templates. Let's see. The world of Kalis. Is in shits. It's the best what I can actually say about that. So I will drop practically all of my where is it? Okay. And I will delete stuff that I don't need. So yeah, there is not much difference here, just there is a little bit more Vetala. As I said, we will get into that when I start actually explaining fully Anima world. This is a little creative stream actually for me. Oh, internet is down. Let's see what's going on. I hope it will return soon. Let's see. Come on. I don't know why is this happening these days. Shite. And we're back. Well, internet just died. That was unfortunate. So we can continue. This here. So let's see. This picture is no more. Maybe I can find what am I currently working with. Maps. At least one of the Skyla Islands, the biggest continent, that there are no remnant of light where Sylvan lives. Mostly, well. I will probably rework some maps because this is just edited stuff. Let me see. Old stuff. Where is the map? I'm missing my maps. No. That one haven't refreshed. Okay. Give me a moment. We have Facebook group for this, but oh man, to navigate that is pain in the ass. So let's try it like this. this is just the city of Valen. I mean, I can show that for a little bit, but it's literally on the border of a flying continent. But no, that's not the one that I wanted. I wanted the actual content. Vandaliel Gola. I used most of the Welsh for Sylvan language, because you know, fairies and Whale. There we go. Literally, the most bottom city is where our players currently, well, they're not currently there, but they're stationary there with their inn, temple, and all things. With that, I will now just minimize that. And maybe add one more image to see the maps. Where's the one that I edited? Certain degree. Oh god, that's the big one. Let me resize that a lot. So yeah, this is just the first work. Yeah, net imploded completely for a moment, but yeah, I'm back. Stream actually, I haven't added we had that option of 90 seconds. He leaves the stream on some kind of backup before he return. I checked that. So yeah. Okay. As I said, most of the familiar races, but as I said, we will get into that later. Creatures. The world of Kalis. That's pretty much what we're gonna need for that talk. What we can get into this. We might even continue the Free Cities of Sauron campaign. I mean, because they actually played this few sessions, I think 4 or 5 sessions. Agents of Wise Oak, mostly supernatural creatures that live in the Dreamlands. Three cities that escaped there when world broke, and only ones that are not attacked by saturation of magic that actually exists in the Kalis. They're still in the sky in a way, but yeah. That's another one that can be continued. Blood Ocean is definitely one of the survival. What are you offering to me? What is this? Navigating the Blood Ocean that is actually blood is horror in itself. But there are so many lost islands with some surviving stuff and too many mutated stuff from magic saturation. and you don't have, you know, if you have in some mythological sea or ocean, you have sirens or something like that. Here you have blood queens, the blood elementals that live all around the ocean and mostly insane because of everything that went there. There are some islands that still possess society. They found out that there is this island of Tuandarils, practically shifters, humans that are fused with animal spirits. Somewhere in very, very savage island. Few clans that are there. Kingdom of 12 is too mysterious and I'm not sure I will get into that. I don't want to play Borgs yet. They are currently in purgatory wastes where human lives. Caelum Domini is probably with the biggest options. Sky pirates, unexplored areas. There's so much unexplored land of sky islands in that archipelago. So and there's even few lost metropolises that exploded when Node exploded when world broke. So many nasty things. Regnum Noctis, Kingdom of Darkness, where Vetala or something close to vampires and Duxarist practically Dark Elves lives. It's not that dark as some of might think. It's more of a necessity that they became like this for the last 700 years. And one more thing, in Kalis, unlike on Gaia, everyone knows about magic. I mean, it's literally a world of supernatural races, which Sylvans or elves prevails hell of a lot. It's practically their world. All others exist in such a minuscule number all over that. Well, there's still giant, half giants, catlings, things like that. But those that were at war with them and humans are like in numbers of 10-20,000 in total, and you may have, not sure, I'll check in, about 50 to 100,000 of others in Regnum Noctis. So it's a really spread out land, surrounded by the Blood Ocean, on the actual land and not on the flying island that they're surviving. It's harsh, and they practically rebuild themselves when ancients of Vetala, practically vampire lords, risen and starting to make society of the remnants of the fallen battalions that were in the opposite side against the Sylvans in that war. So, Run of the Night. Okay. Remnants is always fun. Well, there is more of political struggle there, but that's kinda included with our Agents of Wise Oak that start dealing with that. And you can play nobles, you can play any kind of Sylvans, and that's the main campaign that's kind of spins around, especially with the guilds and things like that. As I said, I will get into world buildings in detail about all of these. At least what they found out by this point. Okay, yeah. On organization side, Well, we have quite few. Luminous Lacrimae, literally Church of Light, that follows the battles, the greater gods of light, that are not anymore in commune as the dark gods do with the mortals, but fate still remains. It was built upon that, especially Sylvans and Abundance, the fallen angels. I'm built on that. Then Tenebrae Carmen stuff. I mean, Luminous Lacrimae is something that will be included in main campaign, so I will. Who knows? We'll see. We have 5 players by this point, and not everyone is free or, well, maybe in or online campaign. It's our private campaign, so we might post some info about it, but that will be about it. Tenebrae Carmen is literally the opposite of that, but it's not simply evil or something like that. As I said, Tenebrae Carmen follow the Shades, the dark gods, but there is a whole lot of following the progression through conflict and things like that. There's and kind of accepting the chaos of the world too. Posium is gray area of those, both of them kind of fused. Arium, if I remember, is actually following of certain deities of destruction and creation that Deva, or three-eyed half-giants that are very thin and tall, and great conjurers follow, even after their empire fell. So Arium is more of philosophy now that left. I don't think I will get into that much of story. I mean, this is all options, but I'm just picking some that I would like for people might get into. I will see. I will respect the will of the players and, well, kind of find the motivation through them. Usually when they make characters, I find that silver lining where I can actually take the story. Order of Echoes. Now they are very integrated in the main campaign. Currently, remnants of, well, not just the remnants of those that fought in the old war, but let's just say people saw some stuff and they're very disappointed by the state of the world, and they would do for greater good some really bad stuff. By this point, followed by last, essentially Archbishop of the Luminous Lacrimae that she was before. She was leader of that religion before. Well, she joined. She joined. That might be a spoiler. She's not the one that made Order of Echoes. I dropped that in. I'm not sure if Ticket is in the chat. Okay. Prime Sins. I will not talk too much about this. They met literally the prime demons. They always exist in the world. They reincarnate kinda when they're killed. They can never be 100% extinct, at least as it's known. But these might not be the ones they actually think that are prime sins. They just represent themselves as such. 7 deadly sins, demons made by once in each, trying to rebirth the other brothers and sisters in this world. They're a specific bunch. Not just. They're evil. They're definitely evil, but there might be that lawful evil part here, closer to the devils than just what you know of chaotic chaos and destruction. Gemini of Arcadia. That's something I would drop in. These are spies. These are master spies. Grace. Yeah. Grace Dajani or Grace. Shadow race that doesn't leave any footprints. They're almost a successor to changelings from Eberron. Practically and face stealers. They're living in their underground society. They can implement themselves anywhere, and Gemini are the best. Gemini shadows are those that can, well, they practically spend their life to become one person and, well, remove that person, take their face and become them. The best Gemini are never found out. They're in the society still, and you still don't know who they are. And I will say that they even met few of them, and they don't know that they are actually Greys. They thought they are elves. Because Gemini work for their people, they work for big library of the knowledge. The Johnny sell knowledge. I mean, you will see them in every part of the society, but in such small number. And yeah, they don't have nobility and things like that. We're all equal. The only impartition between them are in skill. And they will share with each other. And they have so many puppet locations, I would call it like that, that people think they found some knowledge from them, and that's just something that they left for look like a ruin or some burned books and things like that. That means nothing. Usually just undercover for 10 more layers where the real thing is. So if you want to know anything about Dajani, you need to really dig deep. Shadow Brigade probably kidnapped humans, modified it to defend the Kingdom of 12. As I said, Borg Nation. I will not get too much into that, it's part of the story, so later. Jesters of Wretched Moon. Now, if you have Master Spy in the politics, these are supernatural spies. These are under the rule of King of Fairies, Oberon, the Wretched Moon. The one, if this would be playing a warlock with with patron of Archfey, practically. Spy. And things that Fae want, they work in mysterious ways and they have a lot of fun. So what is fun when the world is saturated with magic and it doesn't represent nothing weird to them, but for all other mortals it's a nasty thing a bit. it's world of wild magic practically, and you have lordship of Queen Titania and Oberon. So yeah, if you have two gods in this world, those two are, at least now. So there's where I mentioned the acolytes of the Red Queen. If you want to play a semi-lawful archer, lawful evil campaign, this would be it. Because there is the Red Queen, the Crimson Queen, the one entity that was left into oceans of blood and filled with so many things and souls when the world broke, that she's insanely powerful on the, well, I will not say perfectly the scale, but she can challenge those two that I just mentioned in their own right. By this point, she would be almost like a young god, still redefining herself. So maybe it will come be. I like the options. Sky Lords. As I mentioned here, Archipelago Explorers. This will be simply Sky Pirates. Yar. Yeah, Sky Lords. Practically when continents were lifted by artifacts that fall from the sky, and those, it's not known, and I will not get into why and how the land was, most of the land, especially Sylvan land, was saved by what's known as tier of skies, the great crystals that lifted that fall from the sky and lifted the continents up in the sky. The archipelago part is now literally made from, well, one part is made from Skylords, the leaders that brought all races, a mix of all races, to them because they didn't want to follow simply the rule of Sylvans. And Sylvans are specific. The closest you would see them is almost I wouldn't call them Vulcans, because they are stoic in their own way, and yet they're way too emotional in other. But yeah, these are free folks. This is, if you see, it's Tatooine archipelago practically, but it's actually pretty rich with the resources, and it's by that mean it's very dangerous too. And he's hell of a lot more infestation islands and things like that. But you're free. And Skylords are kinda navigating that there. I think I made a bit, 10 or 12. Not sure I named all of them. Still, just a few of them they met by this point. So. Yeah, but Isaac and Mira are lovable idiots. Yeah, they are. So, Merchant Guild. Oh boy, this one. This one is nasty, and not in the same way. They work with everyone. They are mostly in Remnant of Light in Empire of Sylvans, Elven Empire, but they work with everyone. And these noble houses, if you want to play intrigue, economy, and secrets, and oh boy, there's hell of a lot worlds of secret societies just in between them. So yeah, this is inner society pretty much. Probably the only comedy relief in the series is to cope with insanity. Yeah. Well, you need to have some relief with all tension that it's made. Okay, these are just... I will not get into. I think I made it. Oh, there is preview. But I think I wrote everything in Serbian, I'm not sure. Give me a second. Yep. Well, I might redo that if anyone is actually interested to see some of NPCs. But I mostly test stuff that I would lead in this. So, ticket is here. Anything interesting that I mentioned by this so far from Gaia? Because I will not drop in Lunaris yet. I want to actually build Lunaris, and that is the literal the world of night, where Duxarist, the children of night, live. By this point, these are mostly the options that I would go for. Or are you still based on some Eastern stuff that I put? Okay. No. Okay. Sure. I actually didn't know on Discord yet, so check in when you get here. So what is it? Give me just a second. Okay. So yeah, and you will probably see on the stream how I do full from, well, it's not really from beginning, but because I used the template of what was said, and it was really said. I think for Lunaris there's just a few sentences, the third world that was separated when separation happened, yeah, to explain what world is, and that was more or less for Kalis too, that I work with, and I kinda like it. It was a relaxation that I didn't have the book for that, because by that point I already jammed around 12 years of main world of Gaia world campaign. So yeah.